The WNBA season is well underway. So many former Gamecocks, 9 in total. And there are a few things that have stood out. You know, the first weekend had some things. Jared and I talked about that last week. And now that we're into week 2, you're kind of seeing the early leaders. And obviously, it's a long season in the pros, so things can change quickly. But there are 3 of my big takeaways. And I don't know if you want to hear them all, Claire, but I got them for you.
Give them to me.
The first is Aliyah Boston.
Yep.
Is doing some amazing things.
3 double-doubles already?
3 double-doubles already. And for me, and I think that she has been the best player on the Indiana Fever. And I know Caitlin gets all of the attention, and rightfully so. She's a superstar. But if you just look at who's really performing day in and day out, it's Aliyah. Aliyah, and I think Aliyah's performing at such a high level, and I think it's because the Fever, with their new head coach, are playing more of a system that kind of favors her style of play. I don't know if that was the case the past 2 seasons, and I think her and Caitlin Clark have a year under their belt, and they are really clicking as a point guard center duo. That has been fun to watch, so I'm loving what I'm seeing from Aliyah.
Yeah, absolutely, and she's going to get even more opportunities now that Caitlin's injured.
Yeah, that was the big breaking news from today. We're recording this on a Monday, so that just released a little while ago that Caitlin's out for 2 weeks with a strain.
Yeah, so I think it's really fun to see how Aliyah has grown year to year. And so to now so early in this next step in her career to just be like flying out of the gate, double-doubles everywhere, it's exciting.
And you can see how she's growing too, because in the first year, maybe year and a half, and I think she's played well her whole career, but I think early on, you know, when going against the vets like Brittany Griner and Jonquel Jones and A'ja Wilson, I think that was kind of like a shock to the system, as it is for any rookie, when you're like, okay, wow, they are really, really good. And she was still performing well, but now she looks so comfortable in those matchups. And I think it's been fun to watch her take them on and just performing at such a high level. Aliyah Boston is a superstar. And hey, if she keeps going, she might be in an MVP conversation. I don't know.
She's moving like a vet.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really fun to watch. The other one, my second, I don't know if it's a hot take. It's just my observation. I'm not really a hot take artist. But my observation from this past weekend is that Allisha Gray is the most underrated player in the WNBA. She consistently, and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, but I'm going to say it again, Claire. Gray is consistently good, and she is consistently putting up points, and I feel like nobody talks about her. And when I talk about the Atlanta Dream, obviously Brittany Griner, Ryan Howard, these superstars that are so, so good and so talented and perform so well, I'm like, Allisha Gray is the truth. And it is time that she's treated like a superstar, because she is one.
And it's the quiet points that really make a difference.
Yes.
Like when you take a look at like a slate of games, or even at the end of the season, and you look at like not necessarily the top scorer every game, but like who is just like putting up those consistent numbers that like you know what to expect from her and just delivers every time. That's so important to a team, and it's great to see it be a former Gamecock.
Yeah, and the Atlanta Dream, I mean, again, not just this season, she has been consistently good, and I need everyone to watch Allisha Gray because she is amazing. Listen, my third point, and this has been surprising, the Aces don't look good. A'ja Wilson's playing well, and she's doing A'ja Wilson things, but them as a whole, I'm looking at the Aces like, what's going on? Because they are struggling to start this season. And I know they're always championship contenders. We assume they're going to be. But from what I'm seeing right now, Claire, they have to help A'ja. They have, and I know that they've got a couple other superstars in Jackie Young and Chelsea Gray that are also doing well. But to me, it's the post. There's not enough help for A'ja in the post, because obviously, who are teams guarding right off the bat? A'ja Wilson. But I've been shocked at how much the Aces are struggling so far.
Yeah, and I think you tweeted something the other day about the Sky too, and how like they're not getting enough help for Camilla and Angel. And I think that possibly speaks to just how the league is getting so much better as a whole. So when you take the teams that were above, like head and shoulders above the rest before, and then you're starting to even out the others, it kind of like shows those holes. And I think it'll shake out over time, but I think it's possibly a good problem to have, to see level of talent increasing across different teams, and like it'll all come out in the wash. It'll all start to even out and find its groove. But I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, it is early. It is early, and the Aces are very experienced. They have a great head coach in Becky Hammond, so it's been a tough start for them, but I also won't be surprised if they get it together. And defensively, that has been the issue for the Aces. And Asia even said that in the preseason. She's like, I don't really like what I'm seeing from us defensively. So it'll be interesting to see how they adjust that, because Asia Wilson is a winner. And I know, because I covered her all the way back from when she was at South Carolina. She does not like to lose, and she is not just going to sit by and let her team continue to play bad defense. If she doesn't like it, she's going to be the first one to speak up in that locker room and say, no, this is not good enough. We have to get better. But anyway, those are my 3 big takeaways from weekend 2. Is that what we're in with the WNBA? You got anything?
I was going to say, I'll add one to it. You talk about Allisha Gray, add Te-Hina Paopao in there. We've talked about how she just fits well in there. One thing I've noticed is that, like, it's something we noticed about her here. She has such, like, a personality. She's always smiling and that kind of thing. And I think that is huge for her going into a rookie season, to be able to come in right away and just be loose, just play, not necessarily, maybe she's feeling it, but not outwardly showing that pressure of being a rookie, having to come straight from college, thrown right into it. She just feels like she's happy to be here. She's just balling. She's having fun.